So we talked for a while, and she was so pleasant, just a pleasant lady who had, by society's standard, no reason to be pleasant, and concerned about others when by society's standards she should have been mostly concerned about herself.
Welcome to Street Stories, a podcast of real, raw, and unfiltered stories of homelessness told by Skip Finkfish, founder and pastor of Word on the Street Homeless Ministries. Please be advised, these stories are for a mature audience. Our goal is to bring you as close to the reality of homelessness as we can, one story at a time.
We have a few hundred people that we've made some contact with in Atlanta, Georgia, particularly downtown. And there's a concentration around the MARTA station. If you've ever been to Atlanta, right downtown is the MARTA station, underground Atlanta, the Varsity. What do you have? What do you have? What do you have? You ever been to the Varsity in Atlanta? I don't even like to pass through there without stopping at the Varsity. You got to get the chili dog and the orange freeze and the fried peach pie, and enough about that. But anyway, I was walking down from the MARTA station, and it's a downhill sidewalk. There's not much of a grade, and I'm walking from the MARTA station down towards the interstate, and on the right is the Varsity. And I could see up in front of me, I could see someone small in a wheelchair from the back. It was kind of cold outside. They had a hat on. And I couldn't tell if it was a child or a man, woman, I wasn't sure. And in front of me, about 20 feet, there was a young guy walking also down the sidewalk in front of me towards the wheelchair. And right before he got there, one of the employees at the Varsity stepped out the door and handed this person in the wheelchair a drink. And I could see it from behind. And when the young guy walking up behind her, he reached over and he slapped the back of her head and knocked her hat off onto the sidewalk in front of her, and it startled her, and she lost the drink, and the drink hit the sidewalk, and the lid came off, and it went everywhere. And her hat was down there, and he just did it, I guess, for spite or whatever, and because he kept walking. I walked after him and communicated just for a moment, because I wanted to we communicated just for a moment about that particular action. I don't know him, and I didn't know the person in the wheelchair. It just didn't seem right. And so I came back and I got down on a knee and picked up the hat and the cup, but the stuff was all over the place. And I told this woman, very small, definitely under 100 pounds, and in the wheelchair, and her hands were very arthritic, kind of bent up fingers, and definitely homeless. And so I said, "Hi, I'm so sorry that happened. I'll get you another drink." And I said, "I'm Pastor Skip. What's your first name?" Because I usually only ask people for their first name or nickname or whatever. And she looks at me with this toothless grin, and when she grinned, her eyes closed, like this, and she goes, "My name is Fritz, like the cat." And then she giggled a little bit, and I thought, "Oh, well, that's cool." So I had a snack bag with me, and I usually put just non-perishable open and eat foods in the snack bags, and a spoon, and some fruit and protein and different things. And so I handed that to her, set it on her lap, and she reached over and she got it, and she picked it up and she looked at it, and her eyes just lit up. On the bottom of this bag, you see there was a can of Vienna sausages. And I don't know if you're a Vienna sausage fan. I am very much. I could snack on Vienna sausages anytime. But she saw that and she opened it up with her, and she's trying to get her bent up hand down into the bottom of this bag to get to this Vienna sausage. And she finally got it out. And I was just, I didn't want to reach in and grab. And so we're just beginning to have some kind of a conversation. And so she got it out, and then she was trying to open the lid with her bent up finger, and it just wasn't working. So she reached out like this, to hand it to me, and I took it and I opened it up and handed her. I got the fork out of the bag and I handed it to her, and she started eating those Vienna sausages. And just she put one in her mouth and her back, and just just savoring this Vienna sausage. So I went and I got her another drink and came out, and I got down on one knee beside her chair, and we just talked for a while. And she, the whole time as I was trying to get her to talk about what she needed, or how we could help her, or start some kind of a conversation with her, she kept bringing up other people. Well, there's this girl and she needs this, and there's this lady and she's she's been abused or whatever, she needs that, and then there's this guy and he's he's having a really hard time, and so she listed like 4 or 5 people that needed help and wanted to know if I could help them, instead of beginning with her story and giving me her whole her story and what her needs were and what she had been through and all of that. Come to find out, she had been homeless a long time, and she had nothing except for the clothes that she was wearing and a couple of items in a bag on the back of her wheelchair, and being mocked and physically attacked by society, and yet talking to me about these other people and the needs that they had. And so I found out that she lived in the wheelchair, and she slept in the wheelchair. I never saw her out of it. I saw her 2 or 3 times over the course of the days that I was there. I never saw her out of the chair. I never saw her stand up. And she slept in the chair in the MARTA station. So there's some hideaway kind of places in the MARTA station. It's rather large, and there's like some concrete corners under ramps and stuff like that where people stay, and she stays under there. So we talked for a while, and she was so pleasant, just a pleasant lady who had, by society's standard, no reason to be pleasant, and concerned about others, when by society's standards she should have been mostly concerned about herself, with her physical condition and her homelessness and her poverty. So we talked for a while. I got her another drink. She ate some more of those things. I gave her a second snack bag so that she could keep that. And then I told her, I said, I've got some other places I need to go here, and so I'd like to come back and see you tomorrow morning. And she reached out and took my hand, and she just looked at me, and just in a real sober kind of a way said goodbye. And I said, no, I'll see you tomorrow morning. But you see, so many people that have told her, I'll help you in this way, or whatever, didn't come back. That's just not good. If you're going to tell someone that you're going to be involved or that you're going to help them in some way, then you need to show up. So please don't ever do that. Anyway, I told her, I said, I will see you tomorrow morning. As a matter of fact, I'll meet you at the MARTA station on the sidewalk up beside the MARTA station. And she said, okay, regretfully, that I was regretting that I was leaving, and just assuming that, like everyone else, I would not show up. So I come looking for her the next morning, and I got, because she mentioned some of the items that some of these other people might need, and I happen to have several of those things with me because I take a loaded vehicle when I go there. And so I checked my stuff just in case I ran into some of those people. Well, when I came back the next morning to the MARTA station, she was there, she was on the sidewalk, and she had 4 people with her. And so I pulled up on the side of the road there, and I tend to, when I'm in the cities, I tend to come along the sidewalk and then, like I'll park 2 tires up on the curb on the sidewalk or whatever, so that I'm off the road enough. But it's so hard to find a place to park just like that, and people are there. So I chance it. Anyway, I got out and I'm walking towards her, grinning, and she puts her arms up and she had that big grin, and I came up to her and she hugged me. I bent down in the chair and she hugged me, and then she says, these are some of the people I was telling you about. So she had already told them that I was supposed to be coming back, and that I was willing to help, she assumed. So I did. What a great time we had right there on the sidewalk and by the MARTA station, and I got to help somebody who couldn't help themselves and had more interest in helping other people even than helping herself, even in spite of the condition that she was in and the situation that she was in. I try to get people to understand that your present situation, your present circumstance does not define you. Whether you're a millionaire and living in a penthouse and have money in the bank, or whether you are homeless and poor, your present circumstance does not define you. And I try to get the people in the street to understand that. And to a degree, I guess Fritz got it, because even though she was in a terrible circumstance, she was able to see beyond herself, beyond her circumstance, and see the opportunity to be able to help some other people. Yes, through me, but that's all we are as conduits anyway, right? God gives to us, and we give away, and He gives us some more, and we give that away. So it's really not about us. It's really about the Lord ministering to people through us. So you need to show up and expect that when you do show up with someone and you're helping someone else is going to come. I don't know how that happens all the time, but sometimes I end up with, one guy on a corner, and all of a sudden I've got 3 or 4 people. And it's an opportunity. So be willing to show up and be willing to help or be used of God to help whoever He happens to bring across your path. So, Fritz, living in your wheelchair in the MARTA station in Atlanta, I hope that you're still safe and that you are doing well and that you're still finding ways to help others instead of just concentrating on yourself. God bless.
Thank you for watching this episode of Street Stories, brought to you by Word on the Street Homeless Ministries. Please follow us on Facebook at Watts for Homeless and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Watts for Homeless. If you would like to learn more information about our ministry here in Orlando, Florida, you can visit us at wattsforhomeless.com. And if you would like to be a monthly donor or give a one-time donation, you can visit wattsforhomeless.com/give. Thank you.